Hello and welcome back. Oops. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick. This is You Don't Scare Me. Today we're going to continue to debunk the videos contained within the scary videos that will scare the heck out of you. Nuke's Top 5 video. And let's get into it.
Mark Sebastian is staying at the infamous Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. The Stanley Hotel is said to be one of the most haunted hotels in North America.
Well, he's right about that. A lot of people do say that the Stanley Hotel is one of the most haunted locations in all of America. That being said, it's all bullshit because the people who run the hotel, there's two different clients that come to the hotel. There's the clients that come to stay in the hotel because it's a hotel, and then there's the other clients that come because it's haunted. And then the employees walk around with sticks on telescoping poles, and they tap the windows and freak out the people that are staying there specifically for the paranormal aspect, because it is a business, and if nobody had any paranormal activity happening in a haunted hotel, then they wouldn't come to the haunted hotel. You know what I mean?
And is most famously known as the inspiration for the Stephen King book and subsequent movie, The Shining. Turns out that the hotel does live up to its spooky reputation. As Mark is filming the outside of the hotel late one night, he captures this.
Holy shit. I'm not kidding. I just saw someone move in that window.
It's a hotel. It's probably a guest.
Look in this window right here. Shh, you hear that?
A dark figure seems to peek out of one of the hotel's upper windows.
You said the word hotel. Does this not mean anything to your fucking pedantic brain? It's a hotel. You're not the only person in the hotel.
But what's especially creepy is that this room is closed and locked off.
Says who?
Inaccessible to the public.
This is the room where I saw something. There's no one there.
There's nobody in there now. Look, it's a goddamn restaurant. You're trying to tell me that nobody was in there just making sure the place was up to snuff for the morning fucking rush of breakfast goers? Dude, seriously. You were shining a flashlight at the hotel. Don't you think that anybody who was in there wouldn't be curious and peek out to see who the hell was shining a flashlight at the building?
Even the hotel staff can't explain Mark's strange, ghostly capture.
No, the hotel staff doesn't want to explain the ghostly encounter or ghostly capture, because if they did, half of their customers wouldn't come to stay at the hotel.
As no member of the staff patrols that room, and it's not open to hotel guests.
Really creepy though.
Isn't that creepy?
I'm glad you caught that though.
Me too.
You should show the tours.
Okay, I'll show the tours downstairs.
Who's going to give that woman a raise because she's helping the business right now? Wow, that's really creepy. You should totally show that to the tours downstairs so that they can talk about it on social media and have more people come and stay at the hotel. Good employee.
Okay. I confirmed with the staff that no one was in there. They don't do patrols inside of that room. And most certainly not at 2:30 a.m.
I want to let you know that I was on live the entire night that night. So there are at least 1,000 people who saw the events of the footage you just saw play out in real time. It's a locked whiskey bar that is only open for private events. And as soon as I saw Mr. Shadow Man show his ass, I ran up to the door of that room that is on that little patio that you can see in the video, shined a flashlight in and showed that there was no one in there.
How long did it take you to get to the doorway? How do you know that an employee wasn't just taking their break in that fucking room? How do you know that the employees don't make rounds? Just because they tell you doesn't mean that that's the truth, because why the hell would they tell you, a random guest? Furthermore, it is still a hotel. You are not alone. Janitorial staff, security staff, there's employees that do need to take a break at some point. Just because they told you nobody was in there doesn't mean nobody was in there.
This next clip was sent to me by Nuke's Top 5 viewer Zach S. He says that just after midnight, he and his friend Brandon were exploring a tunnel in Shinks Ferry, Pennsylvania, that locals claim is extremely haunted.
There's a haunted tunnel over in Niagara Falls, Lake Erie area that I plan on going with Karis sometime pretty soon. Probably not pretty soon, probably sometime in the spring. It's getting pretty cold. It's going to start snowing soon. September is kind of the last opportunity to do anything extracurricular outside before the winter starts. Yeah, our winter starts in October here. I mean, not officially, but the temperature... The pumpkins are frozen on Halloween. That's what I mean to say.
As the guys look around, something happens that chills them to their core.
Seriously, what is that? Right here, it sounds like boots, like wet boots walking over here.
I heard that too, but did you hear the like low, like,
Yeah!
it's like a male,
Yeah, that's what I was describing as a growl.
it's like a male grunting.
Same, what's up?
So the thing about tunnels is that they're echoey, right? You hear a lot of echoes. A sound, it could be the sound of somebody pulling a Jake brake, like a big truck, big brake, right? I'm not saying that's what it is, but another one of these videos, it sounded like that was coming from way away, like 10 kilometers. The sound, it carries. And because of the tunnel, the sound reverbs inside the tunnel, changes the pitch of the sound, and with your untrained ears, you wouldn't be able to tell it was just a Jake brake from somewhere else. Somebody has one of those zippy cars, you know what I mean? That sound can sound like what they just heard. Now I understand that they're already spooked out because they're in a tunnel at night. That's kind of creepy, right? Every sound can be explained if you just give it a good, solid moment to actually think about it. Cars are 95% of the scary sounds people hear in tunnels. And I think they said they heard a boot. Could be an animal.
The two guys hear what sounds like a person moving in the tunnel, which kind of freaks them out. But as they go to check it out, they hear what almost sounds like a loud wailing moan from somewhere very close by. This sends the guys screaming back to their car in absolute terror.
Same, what's up?
See what I mean? It was like, moo me. You know what I mean? Which sounds like somebody shifting gears, like downshifting. Maybe they're coming down a hill somewhere and they downshift from fourth to third kind of thing. And then, you know what I mean? Like, think about it rationally before you instantly jump towards something paranormal. I'm sure it was terrifying to them, and I don't blame them for running. I would, even though I don't believe in ghosts. It still would, like, freak me out. I'm not faulting them on that, but let's be reasonable here.
So did Zach and Brandon hear a ghost tromping around and whooping it up?
I would, yeah, see, like he said Zach, it's not Zach, it's Zane. So if you're searching up to try to find the channel, you're going to want to search for Zane, and I think he said Brandon, so it's not Zach.
Now, I don't usually feature scary photos on the channel because they're just too easy to fake.
10 points to Gryffindor. Thanks, Nukes. He's right. Photographs are way too easy to fake. So whatever he's about to show us, it's got to be good. So I'm excited for it.
But I found these pictures especially interesting just because they're so strange and seem much harder to manipulate. Now, first up, some women were on a girls' trip to celebrate one of the women's birthdays. There were no husbands or boyfriends and no children in attendance.
Kinda sounds like there were some children and husbands nearby.
So one of the women snapped a live photo on her iPhone and captured this. . Did you see it?
No. No, I didn't.
On the right side of the picture, a small boy who seems to be absolutely colorless appears over the women's shoulders.
Kinda looks like you brought a child with you. Hmm.
Now, if you don't know, an iPhone live photo captures a few frames before the photo and a few frames after.
Kinda seems like it's in the name, don't you think?
And if you look closely, this little pale gray boy actually seems to be moving. The women say that they have no idea who this boy could be, as there were absolutely no children around anywhere.
Well, you see, the problem with that is that you're lying, and the proof is in the photograph, because there's a child in the photograph. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, but you say there's no child there, but there's a child there. Therefore, there was a child there. You kind of get what I'm trying to say here. I mean, everybody wants to think that it's a ghost, but if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's certainly not a rubber boot. You know what I mean?
Next up, a young woman named Tegan is taking a picture with her boyfriend. But later when she prints the photo out, she notices something very odd in the background. A very tall, thin man with indistinct features.
That's a woman. Sorry. That's a woman. That's not a man. It looks photoshopped. It looks photoshopped because it almost looks like there's a break in the crosswalk here. You see, we got these diagonal lines that you would expect from a crosswalk, and they just cut off into a regular looking crosswalk. And then there's the lady who's standing there. It is a lady, okay? Hourglass figure, as you see how it cinches in the waist just below. You know, it's a woman. I think this is photoshopped. The edge of the building here doesn't line up with the building up here. As you can see, the building stretches straight across the whole top. The building here doesn't seem to have a corner to meet up here. Furthermore, the area here is not colorful like you would expect from the reflection. If you look at the reflection up here, reflection up here is like a nice gray, but this is more like a sepia old photograph tone. And again, that striking line that goes right across here. This has been photoshopped.
The devil down below. A guy named Kyle Anthony says that lately he has been hearing strange sounds around his house. Oddly enough, he says that the sounds are coming from beneath his house.
The sounds don't happen to be speaking a language, do they? Remember that? Remember the tunnels in New York?
In the house's crawl space.
Having it around 3 a.m. he says. Tell your buddy to get out of the crawl space. Also, how the hell is that securing your crawl space? It's just a plank of wood with 4 random scraps of wood just holding your crawl space door on.
He sets up a camera down there to see what's going on. What he captures makes his blood run cold.
I just saw the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Watch this.
It's you.
Kyle's camera captures what looks like a person or something hiding in the tiny crawl space underneath his house. Thinking it might be some strange person actually living underneath his home, he goes into his house's crawl space to check it out.
I can't sleep.
Is it really relevant that it's 3 a.m.? I can't sleep, so I chose to investigate my crawl space at 3 a.m. instead of, oh, I don't know, waiting till daylight. I get that it's going to be dark down there regardless, but the fact that you went there at 3 a.m. is probably the cringiest part about this. You're already laying it too thick, guy. Next time you can't sleep, go fucking sit on the couch and watch The Price is Right like a normal person.
There's a security camera. I don't know what I saw. I'm not seeing anything. I don't know what this tarp is. Whether or not there's anything underneath it. I don't see anything. I don't see any signs of life. I don't see any signs of afterlife. I'm gonna get the heck out of here.
Kyle investigates and even crawls his way into the space underneath his house. But there's just no one there.
Do you think that this is when he recorded the first video? He just turned his flashlight off and crawled towards the security camera and then backwards, and then just pre-recorded the first video to say, oh, it's like, I don't see anything down here. You know what I mean? Like, he's the one that was in the crawl space. There is nobody in the crawl space. It locks from the outside. Sort of. So, you know, you see somebody in the crawl space. The person can't leave the crawl space. Therefore, either the person is still in the crawl space, or there was never anybody else in the crawl space to begin with. That's logic. What's illogical is believing that a demon is in your crawl space instead of just being in your house. Like there's some sort of difference between the floorboards. Like, what makes you think that whatever thing is in your crawl space can't just enter your house? And if it could, why would it end up in the crawl space? I mean, if we're working on horror movie logic, then the demon that's in your crawl space would probably just be in your house. Why the crawl space? What's so special about the crawl space? Does it like dirt? Just doesn't make any sense.
So what do you think this is?
I think it's the homeowner.
End of the road. Sam Rossi is an independent truck driver in Southeast Asia. He regularly posts his experiences and adventures as he drives his truck across the countryside of Indonesia. Late one night, Sam is driving his truck along a long, lonely stretch of road that locals claim is haunted by a dark spirit.
Yeah, I've been there, bud. Not in Indonesia, but driving trucks alone at night in a tiny winding road that other people have told me is haunted.
Just after he crosses a bridge in the middle of nowhere, his truck suddenly breaks down.
Ya bener sampean, Apa jenenge? Tibae mesinku sing keder. Wis tak servis ya, Lur ya.
Statistically speaking, I mean, as far as I've come to understand, the chances of your truck breakdown increase exponentially right after you have it serviced, because something is working and then they fix something else. During the time they fix something else that wouldn't have been fucked up gets fucked up by the service engineer because they're not fixing that thing. You know what I mean? If let's say you go in for a brake change, they change your brakes and then your muffler falls off. I just got it serviced. It's like, yeah, but it was a brake change. You know what I mean? Check your DEF.
Oh, hawa ni.
Sam can't understand what's wrong because he says that he's just recently had the truck checked and serviced.
Sam can't figure out what's wrong because he's not a fucking mechanic. He's a truck driver.
And this is when things take a terrifying turn.
Aku saiki ngomong yo, mambune moro-moro mambune gak enak lur. Mambu melati campur amis. Sapa iku?
Did you notice that he drove over a bridge? A bridge goes over what? Smells fishy?
Sapa? Si ambu amis lur yo. Ayo. Sapa?
Fuck is this? Take 2? You did this twice. Why'd you cut the video? What happened with the first take? What was so weird about the first take? You know what I mean? Like, that's a cut. You cut the video and the same thing was still there. So, what's that about, dude?
Hey, Tok, siapa lagi? Hey, Walot! Walot! Muncul lah!
Oh, I see. It's because when you did the first take, you got around to the other side of the truck and the person couldn't get around to the front in time, or they fell down and you guys were laughing, so you reset to do a second take, but you couldn't line the camera up correctly, so it doesn't look like one take anymore. And you didn't watch it back. Or you did. You just happened to blink exactly at the moment where you put the cut. Sloppy. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Watch one of these 2 videos over here. Check out our merch store, ydsmstore.ca. Check out our channel membership, where you can get access to our Discord. We're building a great community there. We're all having a lot of fun, sharing videos and pictures of our pets, and sharing scary memes and stuff. You know, it's a good time. You should check out our channel membership to get access. But you're going to have to integrate your Discord. So if you go onto Discord, go into your settings, integrations, or connections, and then log into your YouTube with Discord. So if you get into a channel membership, it'll automatically give you the access to the Discord. That's how it works. Yeah, check that all out. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.